Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, y'all? OG son, Tengu, back in the house with another cool classic. That's right. This one's for y'all. Tonight, we're going to be checking out the top 8 best old school fantasy kung fu movies. Yeah. Do you have any recommendations?
Nope.
You got any favorites? Mine's is Duel to the Death, 1983, Golden Harvest. That's right. Now, technically, I don't know if that is considered fantasy. Think about it a little bit. I think it is. You know. So, guys, let's give my man Marvelous Videos a round of applause for making this cool content for us. That's right. Put your hands together for Marvelous Videos. All right now. Well, guys, I ain't going to hold it up. Because I can do that. I can drag this shit out forever. Won't you play with me?
Don't play with me!
So without further ado, let's check it out.
10 best old school fantasy kung fu movies. It was surprising how an Asian martial art form found a massive market in the United States. The craze for Hong Kong cinema began with a flurry of kung fu movies in the 70s, and what started as a one-off successful attempt by the Warner Brothers with their movie titled Five Fingers of Death soon transformed into a craze that inspired many other movies. It was discovered that the American audience was lapping up the content that mostly featured fantasy tales of an underdog hero who mastered kung fu, battled the evil, and of course exhibited some incredible fight sequences. It is the genre that gifted the American audience with the expertise of the legendary actor Bruce Lee. These fantasy kung fu films were not exactly your Academy Award winners, but make no mistake, they make for a very entertaining watch. Stories of revenge, drama, action, and romance were clubbed into these movies, and they made the big bucks back in the day. Even today, the legacy has remained, and every once in a while we experience a movie that explores the kung fu genre and works up an entertaining movie. Here we bring to you some of the best old school fantasy kung fu movies so that you can check them out later. Let's begin.
Warriors from Zoo Mountain. I think it's Warriors from Zoo Mountain.
Wrong, wrong, wrong,
Zoo
wrong.
Warriors from the Magic Mountain, 1983. This movie is the
Good thing we
perfect
wasn't on the
example
game
of
show.
the
I'd have blew the
entertaining
shit out of
content
that
that can
question.
come by fusing together the magic of Hong Kong action movies and the brilliance of Western special effects. The story is that of an army deserter who is rescued
Did
by
I
a
just say
kung fu
blew the shit
master
out of the
while he
question?
was being chased by vampires. There is the same powerful evil character, the Blood
he's not
Devil,
gay.
who can only be destroyed by the dual swords. In the turn of events, the soldier and another of the master's disciples join forces to destroy the Blood Devil. Besides the
This wasn't
usual
bad.
kung fu
This
action
wasn't
that
bad.
has been beautifully choreographed, this movie is also about sending the message of acceptance and kindness. There's humor, monsters, violence, and
I
pretty
first
much
saw this
everything that can
movie
draw
in a
the audience to the
documentary
theaters.
about Bruce
The
Lee.
acting performances of Adam Cheng,
Well, a
Yen
clip from it
Bio,
anyway.
Tsui Hark, and others add to the appeal of this iconic movie. A must-watch if you are a kung fu buff like us. Kung Fu Cult Master, 1993. The plotline of Kung Fu Cult Master is as simple and as entertaining as it gets for a
I
kung
had
fu
Kung
movie.
Fu Cult
It is
Master
the
on
ordeal
DVD.
of someone who is caught between the fight between two factions who are tooth and nails with each other for the possession of the swords. There is a catch, of course. The possession would make their master the supreme master of martial arts. The cult rivalries and
Ordered
the
off this
insane
Jamaican
battle
boy in the
scenes
corner
make
for
this movie a
$5.
gem for kung fu fans. The protagonist, Zhang
Don't judge
Wuxia,
me.
discovers the secret itself into a full-blown entertainer. The climax is a cliffhanger, and unfortunately, with no sequels, we will never know. A particular mention has to be made of the acting brilliance of Jet Li, Man Chung, Ching Mai Yao, and other members of the cast. The depth of the characters, the spectacular kung fu moments, and the compact storytelling will make you wish that there was
And it
a
was a
sequel
good
to this
copy.
movie. For those who are accustomed to the fantasy
right.
setting of Jet Li movies, this one should be a treat to watch. The Dead and the Deadly, 1982. There are few
Now,
kung
this
fu
is new. I
fantasy
never heard of
movies
this
that are
until
as
just
funny
now.
as The Dead and the Deadly. The satirical comedy also has decent doses of action, and together it promises to be a thorough entertainer. This is a unique Hong Kong supernatural martial arts movie, and the story is centered around the
Sammo Hung
protagonist,
was
a
in it?
fat and pompous character, Hua Li. He runs a funeral service along with his friends and colleagues, and things take a twist when the body of one of his friends, Ma Lun Xiao, is brought in. He suspects foul
And
play
Wu Ma?
and goes about unraveling the mystery behind his death. There are some
Is
impressive
that Wu
martial
Ma or
arts
is it just some
sequences,
dude
and
that
the
looked like
cheesy
Wu Ma?
special effects add to the comical aspects of the movie. The
Rest
acting
in peace, Wu Ma.
performances by Cheery Chung, Hua Li, and Wu Ma deserve special mention, and the direction by Wu Ma ensures that this ranks as one of the best horror comedies of all time. A Chinese Odyssey Part 1, Pandora's Box, 1995.
Heard of it, but never seen
What
it.
happens when an ancient monkey king
Have
is
you?
reincarnated
I've
as the
seen
chief
it.
of a gang of
It's
outlaws?
disgusting.
You're about to find out as the movie picks up the pace, and there's
Gotta watch
everything
y'all.
from
Sometimes
time
y'all be like,
travel
yeah, I
to
saw it.
magic
Just
to
the one up
quality
me.
kung fu action to keep you hooked onto it. The plot narrates the arrival of Buddhism in China through a fantasy story where the reincarnated Monkey King is after two jealous women. He goes back in time to cure one of the dying ladies, and there are numerous moments that make this a brilliant story. You cannot help admiring the acting skills of Stephen Chow as the protagonist and the likes of Car Ying Law and Kit Ying Lam as the supporting cast. There is some humor to go with all the action, and some scenes are outright hilarious. The special effects do not exactly steal the
Damn.
show, but then that is hardly what kung fu films are about. You can watch this movie for a few laughs and some generous entertainment. Mr. Vampire, 1985. Mr. Vampire was a grand success, and the vampire in the movie is more of a cross between a zombie and a vampire. It tells the story of Master Cao, who is a priest and practices control over spirits and vampires. When he is tasked with removing a body from a grave and reburying him, he realizes that the body had turned into a vampire and takes it to his house. Things take a crazy turn when the vampire breaks free and the master is accused of a murder committed by the vampire. How they managed to deal with the menace of the vampire is the crux of the story. The movie was a massive hit at the box office, and the direction of Ricky Lau allows no flaws to creep into the movie. He was ably supported by a brilliant and funny script and sound acting performances by Ching Ying Lam and Xiao Ho Chin. The acrobatics and kung fu skills are breathtaking, and the story blends humor with seriousness, beautifully making it a masterpiece. Miss it at your own peril.
Boy just took a quandale to the back of the head like it wasn't nothing.
Encounters of the Spooky Kind, 1980. Movies
Heard of
about
this one.
battling
Yep.
zombies never cease to be entertaining, and the case with Encounters of the Spooky Kind is no exception. The protagonist battles zombies in an abandoned temple, and one of the highlights of the movie is the cast that involves the likes of Sammo Hung, Lam Ching Ying, and Set Mei Long. This Hong Kong martial arts movie is more of a comedy horror and has some very enjoyable moments. When Bo Chung is challenged to spend a night in an abandoned haunted temple, he has to fight for survival. Inside, a coffin has been kept, and it contains a hopping corpse. There's some violence and gore in the movie, and it is laced with moments of martial arts brilliance. The story has some thrilling moments to keep you at the edge of your seats. The story of how Chung manages to contain and destroy the evil is sure to be an entertaining watch for the fans of this genre.
My mom loved this movie. The Bride with White Hair.
Oh my gosh, I got it right!
Bride with White Hair, 1993. Bride with White Hair has one of the most basic premises for a kung fu movie that involves a trade swordsman leading a team of martial arts sects to battle an evil cult. There are complexities in the story, however, that stem from the feelings developed by the protagonist for a young woman who was raised by wolves and later adopted by one of the leaders of the evil cult.
Really good story,
Despite her
too.
attempts at leaving the evil cult, she is blamed for the murder of the team that was being led by the protagonist. She then transforms into an evil white-haired woman who seeks revenge, and the movie ends on a cliffhanger where we see him waiting and protecting a rare flower that can reverse aging in the hopes that his wife would turn up one day. Lian Nishang impresses with her acting in such a complex character. So do the likes of Leslie Chung and Yami Lam. The tragic love story has its ups and downs, and the amazing musical score for the movie adds to its charm. Another impressive aspect of this film is the editing work and the choreography of the fight sequences. We can promise that if you sit through this one, you will be willing to watch the sequel as well. Master of the Flying Guillotine,
All right, now hold on. If this is
1976.
in
The
the
name of
8,
this movie is derived from the
then
lethal weapon of the assassin
Duel
who
to the
seeks
Death
to kill Wang, the one-armed
can go
martial
in this
arts
category.
master. The master has to attend a
That's
martial
right.
arts tournament, and as you would expect, the assassin tracks him there. The story of the movie proceeds to narrate how the one-armed master manages to
I was
deceive the
questioning that
assassin with
earlier, but I'm
numerous
not
tricks
now.
and strategies, and eventually destroys his weapon. Afterward, he manages to defeat his evil assassin in battle. It is hailed as one of the most creative martial arts films that were made in this era, and it had some fascinating fight sequences. The acting performances
That monk
by
was kicking
Jimmy Wang
everybody's
Yu
ass
leave a
through the
good
whole
taste
damn
in your
movie.
mouth, and the depth of the characters are sure to leave you fascinated. There are way too many fight scenes in this movie, and you would enjoy it thoroughly if you're a fan of martial arts. Holy Flame of the Martial World, 1983. Revenge dramas always manage to score big with the
This wasn't
audiences,
bad.
and what could be better revenge than vengeance for the death of parents? The movie Holy Flame of the Martial World is
I
a
enjoyed
beautiful
it.
story of a brother and
Got a little
sister who
goofy
go
at
all
times,
out
but
to extract revenge of
it's to
their
be
parents'
expected
deaths.
with old
They were
school kung fu
separated
movies.
when they were young and raised by rival martial arts masters who trained them. Their journey has elements of mind-numbing acting scenes, romance, and hints of comedy. The movie would not be half as brilliant without the acting expertise of Seo Chung-mak and Lian Lau in leading roles. The special effects have been brilliantly used for this movie, and the characters in a fight are a spectacle to cheer for. The direction by Liu Chun-koo is accurate, and they waste no time in getting straight to the point that is martial arts. This is a feel-good movie after it satiates your thirst for action, and is surely worth a watch. Chinese Ghost Story 1, 1987. Imagine falling in love with a ghost. Well, if it is too hard to imagine, watch this movie. The protagonist, Ning Choi-san, falls in love with a woman he met while he took shelter for the night in an abandoned temple. He discovers that the woman is a ghost who is forcibly made to serve an evil demon. The story of the movie explains how Ning takes the help of a Taoist warrior and delves into the supernatural realm to save his ghost love interest. The movie has a concrete story that has elements of romance, action, and humor. This is literally the best of Hong Kong movie elements put together, and with the fascinating flying swordsman, martial arts, and supernatural theme, the movie wins the hearts of the viewers. Joey
What
Wong
am I looking at?
impresses as the pretty ghost, and Leslie Chung shines in his performance as the protagonist. Even the supporting cast, consisting of Wu Ma, Xiao Ming Lao, and Zilong Zhu, are up to the task.
All right now. I told you it was going to be quick. I ain't going to waste your time. Even though sometimes I might. But that's okay. Because you love me. And I love you. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm about to get on out of here. And I'll see you at the next cool video. OGTENGU. Peace and out. Until next time. I'm going to pause on it. Y'all be good. Take care of yourselves. And get back here the next time I post a video. Because I need somebody to look at these movies with me, man. My people don't like kung fu movies. All right. I'm out.
You paused.
Peace. What am I doing with my life?
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Bye. Nice seeing you.